Shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like a so shine bright tonight.
Hello beautiful humans of the universe, and welcome back to another Halloween tutorial. Today I'll be guiding y'all through the traditional tattoo lady makeup. This look was inspired by Morella Beauty. I'll tag her original tutorial below if it's still available. I'm going to start by priming my lids with my favorite concealer and primer combo using the Morphe E45 brush. If your eyebrows aren't shaved off like mine, I would highly suggest doing a brow cover up before applying your eye base. For this tutorial, we're going to be using the KVD Shade and Light eye palette. This is the OG before she sold the company, so I definitely pulled this one out of the vault. I'm going to use a Sigma EO5 brush in the color Shacks, and I'm going to begin carving out the shape of my crease. I want it to be nice and rounded, and I want an exaggerated shape so that it can play on the sad eyes effect that we're going to be going for. Using a pointed brush like the Sigma EO5 allows me to be precise with my application so I don't have any fallout and I keep the color exactly where I'm placing it. Using a clean Morphe M506, I'm going to begin blending out the edges of the color Shacks. I'm going up in the crease, not going down. I want to keep the lid bare and clean so it's a quicker cleanup for later. With the same Morphe M506, I'm going to go into the color Liberatus so that I can begin adding my transition color. Blending back and forth in windshield wiper motions until we get the blend that we desire. Now I'm taking a clean Morphe M562 to blend the edges of Liberatus into the brow area. With the same M562, I'm going into the color Lazarus to blend the edges of Liberatus even further. Now I'm going back into each color that I laid down previously, just in case I lost any color payoff when I was blending. Back in with my primer combo and a Morphe M124 brush, I'm going to go ahead and carve out the crease. I want to make sure this is a really nice, sharp, and defined line. Then I'm using the Wet n Wild brush to press the base in. I have overactive tear ducts and they love to act up when I'm putting on makeup, so there's going to be a lot of breaks during this makeup application when I have to drain the tears from my eyes. It is so annoying, but such is life. Because I'm a perfectionist, I'm just going back and making sure that everything is even, pristine, and symmetrical. I'm going to go back and forth until I am completely satisfied, which even in the end, I will never be satisfied. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I think we're even here, even though looking back at it, it's a little not even, but we're going to let that slide. Going back into the Shade and Light, we're going to use the color Soleos to set our lids. This is the perfect off-white matte. I always lay down my wigs before I apply my makeup, but it literally pains my pointy ass ears every time. Today's primer choice is a Dr. Brandt Pores No More. I love this primer when I want a really nice smooth base, especially because I have massive pores in my T-zone. For a foundation, we're going in with the Fenty Pro Filt'r in the colors 310 and 290, using a Morphe Y7 brush to blend it all out. For this look, I definitely wanted a foundation that was matte, and that's why I gravitated towards the Fenty Pro Filt'r because she is matte. To conceal, I'm using the Coverfx Power Plate in G Light 2 with the Morphe M166 brush. This concealer has a generous playtime, so I love to let it dry down a bit before I blend it out. I'm using a Morphe G2 to blend out the concealer. This is basically a beauty blender on a stick. And then I'm going to go into the RCMA No Color Powder with the same G2 brush to set all of the highlighted areas. I love using the brush that I use to apply concealer to set the concealer. This gives you the finish that baking gives you without the dryness. So you're going to get that airbrush flawless finish and avoid looking dry and cakey. Using the E45 brush from earlier to make sure the brow area is set. Going back into the Shade and Light using the color Lazarus on our M562, I'm just going to finish blending the edges of the eyeshadow before we move on to the brows. Using the No Color powder and a Morphe M462 to set the rest of my face. Going in with some light contouring on the temples and nose with the Melt Contour and Sculpt stack. I'm going to snatch my nose using the Morphe M506. I can't really talk through the process of contouring my nose, so just watch what I do and take with that what you will. Going in with a fluffy brush just to blend the edges. I like my nose contour to look like I contoured, but not like I contoured. I'm going to do a quick liner using the Haus Labs Felt Tip Black Liner. I'm keeping this eyeliner close to the lash line and I'm not extending it out, no wing, just leave it at the same length as your eyelids. My poor tear ducts were going through it this night, and this is my attempt to try to keep the tears from falling and try to keep them in my eyeballs, maybe push them down a bit. It was a mess, to say the least. I want to coat my lashes in some mascara before I apply lashes later, and I'm using my coveted Kush mascara from Milk Makeup. You cannot pry this mascara out of my dead hands. I was going through my mental inventory on what red pigments I have that are the perfect tone that I'm looking for. I don't want anything that's too warm, anything that's too dark. I just want it to be a really nice blue toned red. The shade Mad from the Me, Myself, and Mmmmitchell palette was the perfect red color. I'm using a smudger brush to pack this onto my lower lash line. My lips are getting a little dry, so I just want to go in with some balm to perk them up. I'm trying to find the best way to shape this blown out eyeshadow moment we're going to get into. I want to make sure that it complements my cheekbones and it also complements the shape that we're going for in regards to the sad eyes. I'm using the Morphe R39 and the color Mad again to blow this out. I'm keeping everything round, everything going with the overall shape of my face and contouring around my cheekbones. My tear ducts are still spazzing out. After I get the color down, I'm going in with the Morphe M448 brush to blend out the edges. I'm then going to apply a little bit of the RCMA powder to further blend that blown out eyeshadow into my complexion. Since that wasn't enough blending for me, I'm going in with the BoxyCharm L34 brush to make sure that the edges are seamless. Just in case we lost some color payoff, I'm going to reinforce the color close to the lash line. To finish off the blush, I'm using the Luxie 516 brush to lightly dust a little bit of color on the bridge of the nose. I'm using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On in Perversion on the lower lash line and on the waterline. I'm then going to go in with the Hourglass number 11 brush to smudge all that out. To draw on the false bottom lashes, I'm using the Epic Ink Liner from NYX. I love this liner for things like this because it's a felt tip, so it has a really nice smooth glide to it. I want the outer lash to be the longest and taper inward. Then I'm going to add some dots to the outer 3 lashes. And we have finally made it to these iconic brows. I'm using the Makeup Forever Artist Pencil in 500 Boundless Bisque to draw an outline for where I want to apply my eyebrows. Doing this technique definitely makes it easier to apply and draw on your brows later. Then I'm going in with the NYX Epic Ink Liner again, just to go right over that stencil that I traced. Because the expression relies on the shape of the brows, you want the front of the brows to curl upwards, and and the end of the brows to curve downwards. This is going to give us that exaggerated sad expression that we're looking for. These are some of my favorite drawn-on brows that I've ever done. I was obsessed. I applied these lashes off camera. Now we're going to move on to the lips. For the top lip, I'm going in with the Sephora lip stain in number 28 Pretty Auburn. I'm going for a two-tone lip, so the top lip will be one color and the bottom lip will be another. On the bottom lip, I'll be using the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick in Besos. I love this red. It is the perfect blue tone red, and it was the perfect color to finish off this look. Just when I thought I was finished, I felt like something was missing, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. It was the mole that was missing. So now that we're done with the makeup, I'm gonna take my hair down, I'm gonna style it off camera, and I'll come back with the finished look. And we've made it to the end. My tear ducts were really not trying to let me win out here, but thank you to the universe for allowing me to prevail. And as a finishing touch, a cherry on top if you will, I'm going to add some temporary tattoos. These are in the traditional American style of tattooing, so I felt like it would definitely go with the look and the theme perfectly. I was so nervous for the placement of this butterfly because if it was off center even by a centimeter, it would look freaking ridiculous in pictures. So I was over here trying to figure out a way to make sure that it was completely centered. So I folded the middle and then I applied it that way. I'm using my dropper with some water in it on a paper towel to get this tattoo wet so that it can transfer to my body. And it came out perfectly. It was super centered. I was so excited. Like, highlight of my evening for sure. I'm gonna do the same process for the rest of the tattoos. I'm gonna focus on placing them on my shoulders, my neck, and my chest area, anywhere that's gonna be visible for pictures and videos. About 13 tattoos, but as this was coming together, I was just so obsessed with the aesthetic, and I'm like, how come I haven't put tattoos in these spots yet? What is my problem? I need more tattoos, especially that butterfly. Like, I really want a butterfly in the center of my chest now. I did not like the placement of this pyramid tattoo, so I ended up removing it with some alcohol, and then I'm just going to do a side neck tattoo instead. It was just too much in the center for me. I felt like the butterfly should just be the focal point. Once you're done applying the tattoos, you're gonna set them with translucent powder. This will get rid of the shininess and the stickiness, making them look a little bit more realistic. Now that we're done, I'm just gonna go ahead off camera and apply my accessories. And here is the finished look. Enjoy.
It's M to the B, 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 it's M to the B. Gary, you are gonna finish your dessert and you are gonna like it.
For more Halloween tutorials, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and light, y'all.